Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here and welcome to another review. And now I'm taking a look at the Commodore 64 version of Skool Daze. No, I'll skip this bit. And just like in the Spectrum version that I've already reviewed previously, you get a burst of girls and boys come out to play. And the first thing I notice is that this is a Spectrum port. So is that rather than push scroll, it's actually flick screen in this. Well, another thing I've noticed is that the sound effects are pretty crap in this version. I mean, seriously, those sound effects are pathetic. I mean, we're talking about Commodore 64 here. Why has it got such twee sound effects? Boy Wonder has hidden a pea shooter with your name on it on the fire escape. If Mr. Whacker gets there before Boy Wonder, you'll get lines. Press U if you understood. Or understand. It said understood in the Spectrum version. So I've got to make sure that Mr. Whacker doesn't... Yeah. Oh, darn it, it was too far away. So here comes Mr. Whacker down the stairs. That really is a terrible sound effect. And it's slower than the Spectrum version as well. That's why Boy Wonder made it there first, so I'm not going to be penalised. That's a relief. The controls are the same as in the Spectrum version. You can also... What do you mean get to where I should be? I'm not even in a classroom, dickhead. That really, why did they pick that sound for? I mean, the sound for hitting's not too bad, but the sound for firing a catapult and getting lines, those really aren't very good sound effects for, especially not for a Commodore 64. And they're nowhere near as iconic as what's in the Spectrum version either. That really is a terrible twee sound effect. Yeah. Was that supposed to be a bell? That sounded absolutely nothing like a bell. I mean, even allowing for 8-bit, that didn't sound like a bell. Come on, Angel Face, let's have a scrap. It's harder to time it because of it being noticeably slower than the Spectrum version. Got you bastard. I wonder if this has the same problem as the Spectrum version, which you can get pushed off by at least one excess boy in the room. What? Oh, thanks a lot, Boy Wonder, you absolute sodding bastard. Hit me with your catapult. Yeah. Yes, it does have that same problem. Can I resolve it the same way as... Oh, no, I can't. Mind you, the advantage is that because he's facing in the opposite direction in this version, I'm not getting told off repeatedly every time a boy pushes me off the seat. Oh, it is letting me do it. Oh, I thought, boy, maybe I might be able to get a shield or two in here. Oh, what? I can't even jump onto kids in this version. Oh, I can. I just can't do it on their legs and like I could in the Spectrum version. That's annoying. Come on. See, look, I can't jump on their legs. If this were the Spectrum version, I would have been able to. I like the way Mr. Creek's teaching an empty class there. Nasty little boys. There's no one in there. I can't believe that this is a Spectrum port. And again, Mr. Withit facing the wrong way. I'm hoping. Right, that's that one done. That's all of these shields in there lit up. The movement of Eric's a bit choppy in this version as well. It was continuously rapid in the Spectrum original. Oh, why did they do a Spectrum port? I can't believe that. They did a Spectrum port. Why did they do a Spectrum port? Oh, 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 why did they do a Sp Oh, I might be able to get... Yes. Nice bit of music there. And that's all of the shields completely. That's all of the shields flashing now. This is a... Oh, blooming hell, Boy Wonder, sod off. And it looks like you still get points for beating up the bully, Angel Face. And you still get points every time Angel Face and Einstein get lines. Oh, good, there isn't an excess of... Please, sir, I cannot tell a lie. I am a total fibber. Except on this occasion, because he really did write on the blackboard. Oh dear. The sound effects are so phenomenally bad in this. Come on, hurry up, ask the question, sir, so I can find out what your letter is. Oh, he's not even going to ask questions. What a bastard. This probably won't go on as long as the Spectrum version because it is basically the same game. This is definitely noticeably slower than the Spectrum version. Not much slower. It's not the kind of slowness you might get from an Amstrad CPC game that was a Spectrum port. Now those could get horrifically sluggish. W. Oh, it doesn't even play a sound effect when you get a letter from a teacher. So I need to get a letter from Mr. Rocket and Mr. Whacker, and I'll have to do Mr. Creek's later if I'm still continuing with the review by that point. I'm not going to be able to get them in there, am I? Oh, I might be able to, especially as Mr. Rocket's not going in there. Right, so Mr. Withet's letter is C. Oh, I thought it was far enough away from him. Right. Oh, sod off, Boy Wonder. J. I can't believe it doesn't play a sound when you get a letter from a teacher. It does in the Spectrum version because it's very easy to miss, and that's obviously not going to work with Mr. Creek. See, it doesn't work for Mr. Creek. He can't remember his letter the way the other three can. That was the same in the Spectrum version as well. When you had that class just then, what I was hoping would happen is that he'd ask what happened in the year that he was born, and then Einstein would answer with the name of a particular battle, and then I'd make a note of the year in which that battle occurred and write it on a clean blackboard, and then should Mr. Creek see the year written on the blackboard, he will give up his letter. Very odd. In this version, it actually plays a sound effect whenever you sit down or stand up from a desk. It didn't play. Oh shit! I better go away, because otherwise I'll be too close. Oh, I was lucky that Einstein walked in just then. Oh no, there's going to be too many kids again, isn't there? Oh god, look how slow it's going. God, oh, I didn't get lines just then. Ah, this is what I want. The Battle of Sedgemoor. Sod off. $16.85. Ugh. So that's the year I need to write on a blackboard and hope that Mr. Creek see it before it gets wiped off. See, if that had been the Spectrum version, I would have been getting lines every single time I got knocked off my chair. No, it doesn't play a sound for writing on the blackboards either. That's so annoying. Now I've got to try and get to that exam room and write on the blackboard there before Mr. Blondie Face goes up and writes on it, as in Boy Wonder. I'm surprised this doesn't have proper scrolling in it though. Oh god, I just realised I'm not supposed to be in that room. I better get... Move! Ah, good. He hasn't grasped me up from this class. Hasn't even started yet. Oh, Mr. Creek's not attending a class at the moment. I'm hoping Mr. Creek will be doing a class in that upstairs room. Because then as long as I keep him on screen and he sees the year of birth on that blackboard, then he'll give away his letter. And then I'll have all four of them. Manganese. AG. Taking a big risk writing that in front of Einstein, but even if he's not in the room, he'll somehow miraculously know he's written on the blackboard. And he's not averse to lying either. Remember, he actually lied in the Spectrum version. Ooh. Definitely writing. That's it, you fire catapults because it'll slow you right down, you sod. Oh, sod off! Get up! Oh, that's why he didn't even go in that room anyway. That's fine with me. And surely Mr. Creek's got to see one of those blackboards before too long. Because while there's playtimes going on, there aren't going to be teachers wiping them clean, so he's just got to have a class in one of those 3 rooms at some point, as long as he's on the screen when he catches sight of the year on the boards. Then I'll get his letter. Now it's just a waiting game. Yeah, it's quite hard to time the punches in this because of the slightly decreased frame rate in comparison to the original Spectrum version on which this is based. Why wasn't it done from scratch? Oh, blast. I've got to hang around in this area for a while. I can't skive off dinner because otherwise the teacher that happens to be nearby, which in this case is Mr. Withit, will chase after me and give me lines repeatedly until I get back to where I'm supposed to be. So yeah, I'm not keen on the background colours they've used for whenever a teacher gives away his letter, because did you see it? It was pretty much almost the same. It was the same yellow background as most of the general background in this area anyway, so it's very hard to see. It was always on a black background in the Spectrum version, and there was a sound effect, so it stood out like a sore thumb. Yeah, I'm deliberately not facing into the crowd for that because if Angel Face hits me there while I'm facing him, then I'm going to get knocked down, and if the teacher catches me while I'm like that, then I'm going to get lines. Where's Mr. Withit going? I'm sure he never went that far over to the left of the Spectrum version during lunchtime, dinner. These must be very long school days. When does anyone ever get to go home and sleep? Oh my goodness, look how slow this is going. I mean, I know that the Spectrum version also had a bit of slowdown when there were a lot of boys on the screen, but This is definitely slower. I mean, you can tell even by the speed of the punch that I just did there that it's slower. And anyone who's been a follower of my channel who wasn't aware will also know that there was actually a sequel to School Daze, which was entitled Back to School. But unlike this first game, which appeared on the Spectrum and the Commodore 64, for reasons unknown to me, Back to School was a Spectrum exclusive. It never came out on the Commodore 64. Oh, playtime. Don't let Angel Face touch you this playtime. He's got mumps. Press U if you understand. So I just got to keep well away from... kind of hoping for a class that Mr. Creek could perhaps give me his letter. Even though I'm not supposed to be in a classroom, the safest way to avoid Angel Face whenever he's got mumps is to simply be in a classroom, because Boy Wonder is the only one who ever enters classrooms during a playtime. So there's Angel Face just in the bottom left corner there, just gone off the screen there. So he's the one who I must not touch until the bell goes. Funny enough, there must be some form of mumps that can only infect Eric, because no one else seems to be particularly perturbed by his presence. See, like because he's not supposed to be in classrooms during playtime, nor am I for that matter. He didn't come in, so as long as I stay in a classroom, there's no way that Angel Face is going to get me. Mind you, he's not supposed to hit people either, and he still quite happily does that in front of teachers without getting so much as a slap on the wrist. So, yay for video game logic. Playtime again? I hate it when that happens, because it means I've got to wait even longer before Mr. Creek can potentially see one of those boards with his year of birth on it. That is such a silly sound effect for jumping. Oh, not again. And look, he's right next to me. I'm not pressing U until he's way away from me. Right, now I'm doing it. Staying right in the back of this blooming classroom. That way, hopefully, teachers won't see me, and it also means that Angel Face won't be able to get to me. I have to admit, this version does seem a bit glitchier than the Spectrum version. I mean, remember when Mr. Withit was taking classes, he was facing the wrong way during the class that I was actually in with him, and when he was saying to the pupils in the exam room that not long after that to settle down and take their seats and whatever, noticed he was facing the wrong way when he was at the door doing that. So it's just a waiting game, waiting for the damn bell to go off. And hoping that the next thing will be Mr. Creek having a class in one of those 3 rooms. I mean, even if it's revision library, there's still a possibility that Mr. Creek will be taking a class in one of those 3 rooms and will still give me his letter. But at the moment he sees that year of birth on the board. Until then, I just got to wait it out until it. I still can't get over the fact that this has both a combination of worse sounds and fewer sounds being used than in the Spectrum original. It does lose a lot of character by not having much in the way of the sound. I mean, the snatches of music that you've heard are good, but the sound effects are really quite disappointing in this. And the fact that there are some actions for which there were sounds in the Spectrum version, there are none at all in this. Ah, good. I'm in the room I need to be in. Hopefully Mr. Creek will be going up to... Oh, sod off, Billy Boy Wonder, you catapult-happy cretin. Go on. Please tell me you're going to take a class and you'll see that 1685 on the board in the top right corner. Well, he's heading towards that room, so it's promising. No, I've just got to keep my eye on the screen because unlike in the Spectrum version, it doesn't play a sound when... That is so slow. Come on. See that writing on the board. Go on, please. J. Yes, now I've got all 4 letters. So as soon as there's a clean board, I can have a go at writing some combinations. Boy Wonder, I'm going to twat you one in a minute. So irritating. I'm going to get grassed on it, aren't I, for writing on this board. But you never get more than 900 lines, so even if he gives me 900 lines for this, I'll still have 6,050 lines. So that's quite a little way away from the 10,000. 250. That's bearable. Could have been a lot worse. But the main thing is I've got Mr. Creek's letter, which was the last letter I needed. Oh, damn, he's writing on that board. No, I'll just have to write it on the board that Mr. Creek's just cleaned up there. That's chlorine, but you're not going to actually... So Mr. Wacker's letters always comes first. WJJC. Oh. I've just got to quickly head over to the safe and see if that's the correct combination. Oh, wrong button. Move! That wasn't correct, so it would have played if the Spectrum version is anything to go by, it would have played a tune, but it just played the jumping sound effect, which means that that combination I've written on the board is wrong. Get up! So I've tried WJJC and that's wrong. Sod off, you sodding piece of utter crud. So WJJC is wrong. I mean, one thing about two of the letters being the same, it greatly reduces the number of possibilities. So let's try WCJJ, and if that doesn't work, then I'll try WJCJ. Well, he was right. I was the one that wrote that on there. But what I was expecting to happen that didn't is when I was actually writing it on there, Mr. Creek was clearly looking at me, and yet he didn't tell me off then. In the Spectrum version, he would have roasted me for writing on the board. Oh, he was clearly close enough to do that. Oh, he's written on the board. Don't need to know this now. Playtime. Ah, good, a clean board, so I can try another one. As long as this blonde-haired Burke doesn't get there before I do. Right. WCJJ. No, I've got to wait until... I can't go in this room until the teachers are clear because I'm not allowed in there, and I'll get lines if I go in there with the teachers looking. No, that's wrong as well. So it's not WCJJ either. Well, the only thing I can think of it could be now is WJCJ, because that's the only one I haven't tried, because Mr. Wacker's letter was W, and if the Spectrum version is anything to go by, his letter always comes first. Well, that went straight through him. Yeah. Actually, I think I'm going to end the review here because I've said it probably wasn't going to be as long as the Spectrum version, the review that I did, and it's probably only fair because you've pretty much seen what's what, and you know what to do. So that's School Daze for the Commodore 64. Graphics are pretty disappointing, not because they look bad, but because the game's a Spectrum port and therefore doesn't make the use of the and therefore doesn't make use of the Commodore 64's capabilities as well as it could have done. And it does slow down. It is noticeably slower than the Spectrum version. Slows right and slows down even more when there's lots of people on the screen. And the animation when Eric's moving about is incredibly choppy. The rhythm in which he walks is not as constant as it is in the Spectrum original. Sound very disappointing. I mean, especially as the music's so good. I mean, most of the sound effects are either very twee or very bland, or both. And it also has a problem that some things for which there was a sound effect in the Spectrum version is totally silent in this, and quite key things which can be potentially very easy to miss if you're not really alert. See, again, he didn't tell me off for touching the blackboard. He would have done in the Spectrum version, as well as the get to where you should be thing. Actually, maybe I will think about it. Maybe I will finish off this game, since literally all I've got to do now is turn off all the shields by hitting them once more. Oh, bloody hell, move! The controls are not as responsive because of the reduced frame rate. Oh dear. I mean, seriously, these sound effects are rubbish. They really are. See, look again, look, facing the wrong way. See, facing the wrong way again. This version's fairly glitched, or unfairly glitched, depending on how you look at it. So yeah, I was discussing about the sound, the gameplay. Well, the controls are the same as in the Spectrum version, and you like the Spectrum version, you can use a joystick for firing the catapult and moving about. You still need to use the keyboard for everything else though, so... Oh, that's horrible. But the problem is, because of the slower pace, it does make things more of a drag than it really needed to be. Oh, great. Bugger off, Rocket. And also, so the controls are a bit unresponsive compared to the Spectrum version because of that dropped frame rate. That's not in the right place. And I'm surprised that this version doesn't scroll. I mean, admittedly, the Spectrum version had push scrolling, but then that was pretty much forced upon it because of its attribute limitations. But the Commodore 64 doesn't have the same attribute limitations, so I don't quite know why it took that approach. I'm not in the room. I'm sorry, I was not in that room. The positioning of where you have to be in order to. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't think this version's as good as the Spectrum version. It really isn't. So I think I'm going to give the Commodore 64 version of School Daze 6 out of 10. I'm sorry, but the dropped frame rate does really count against it, and the fact that there are some noticeable glitches as well, like teachers facing the wrong way, and even me not getting lines for things I should be getting lines for. So yeah, 6 out of 10 for the Commodore 64 version of School Daze. Yeah, if you want to play this game from this era, stick with the Spectrum version. Damn it. The only reason I'm continuing on is because I'm very close to the end now. And as long as I don't get 400 more lines, I'm going to be alright. So now I've just got to take out those shields, turn off the shields in the exam room, and then I've done it. I probably won't do it because there's too much more in the way of trouble, and I'm going to be in trouble. Oh, damn it, I'm not going to get in there in time, am I? Oh, of course he was hanging around by the fire escape because of... Oh, maybe I'll... Oh, you can jump on their heads and their stomachs, but not their legs. Oh, damn it. I'm in trouble. I'm going to get lines. I can't get out. Oh my goodness, I got away with that. Damn, that's not in the right place. Oh, damn it, too early. Oh, what? That is, though. Can I get back into the class and without what's his face snitching on me? Yes, I can. Yes, I am. Glitch. I'm going to get lines accused of being late. Well, admittedly I was, but he couldn't have known that. Oh, I'm done now. Oh, well, that's going to be game over the moment Mr. Whacker down there gets to me. I only had to turn off that one shield that you see flashing in the middle left of the screen and I would have completed that school year. So that's it, game over. I've got over 10,000 lines, so I've been expelled. So anyway, thanks for joining me on this review. So close and yet so far. Texie88 out.